Ever wonder what the government actually does? Sure, we all know they make laws and collect taxes, but there's so much more. Here's a shocker: the US government spends over $4 trillion a year. That's more than the GDP of most countries. But where does all that money go? In this video, we'll explore 6 essential functions of the government. You'll learn about the hidden workings of defense, how our economy stays afloat, and why our justice system matters. We'll dive into public health strategies that save lives, the nuts and bolts of infrastructure, and how education shapes our future. Did you know the government maintains over 4 million miles of public roads? Or that over 200 million Americans received COVID-19 vaccinations in 2021? These are just snippets of the vast, intricate machine that keeps our country running. Stay tuned as we uncover these functions in a way that's simple, engaging, and packed with surprising facts. Get ready to see the government in a whole new light. Chapter 1: Safeguarding the Realm, the Defense Dossier. When we think about the government, one of the first things that come to mind is defense. Protecting the country is a huge responsibility. But how does the government actually do it? Let's break it down. First, there's the military. Did you know the United States spends more on defense than the next 7 countries combined? It's a staggering $732 billion a year. This budget supports the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. Each branch has its own role in defending our country. The military isn't just about soldiers and weapons. It also involves advanced technology. For example, drones and satellites play a big part in modern defense strategies. They help with surveillance and intelligence gathering. This high-tech approach ensures that threats can be identified early. Next, let's talk about intelligence agencies. Agencies like the CIA and NSA gather crucial information. They monitor global events and potential threats. This data helps the government make informed decisions. Cyber defense is another critical aspect. With the rise of cyber threats, protecting our digital infrastructure is vital. The Department of Homeland Security plays a key role here. They work to prevent cyber attacks that could cripple essential services. National security also involves international alliances. NATO is a prime example. It's a military alliance between 30 North American and European countries. These alliances ensure collective defense, meaning an attack on one is an attack on all. But defense isn't just about reacting to threats. It's also about prevention. Diplomatic efforts help reduce the chances of conflict. For instance, the United Nations plays a role in maintaining global peace. By participating in diplomatic talks and peacekeeping missions, the government works to prevent wars. An interesting fact: in 2020, the US had over 800 military bases in more than 70 countries. These bases help project power and deter potential aggressors. They also provide support for allies. Chapter 2: Money Matters, the Fiscal Fabric. Understanding how the government manages money can be a bit like peeling an onion. There are many layers, but we'll make it simple. So, what does the government do with all that money it collects? First, there's the budget. Every year, the government creates a budget plan. This plan outlines how money will be spent. For 2021, the US federal budget was $4.79 trillion. That's a lot of zeros. Taxes are the primary source of government revenue. Did you know that income taxes make up about half of the federal revenue? Social Security and Medicare taxes also contribute a significant portion. Public spending is where the magic happens. The government allocates funds to various sectors like education, healthcare, and defense. For example, in 2020, about $1.2 trillion was spent on Social Security. This helps support millions of retirees and disabled individuals. Investing in infrastructure is another key area. Building roads, bridges, and airports helps keep the economy running smoothly. In 2021, the government planned to spend $2 trillion on infrastructure over the next decade. This investment aims to create jobs and boost economic growth. But spending isn't just about big projects. The government also provides grants to states and local communities. These grants support everything from public schools to law enforcement. Managing the economy involves more than just spending. The Federal Reserve, often called the Fed, plays a crucial role. It controls monetary policy to keep inflation low and stable. This includes setting interest rates and regulating the money supply. Debt management is another critical aspect. As of 2021, the US national debt was over $28 trillion. The government borrows money to cover deficits, but managing this debt is essential to avoid financial crises. Economic policies also focus on reducing unemployment. Programs like unemployment insurance and job training help people find and keep jobs. In 2020, unemployment benefits were expanded due to the COVID-19 pandemic, providing crucial support to millions of Americans. The government also steps in during economic crises. The 2008 financial crisis is a prime example. The government bailed out banks and auto companies to prevent a total economic collapse. These actions helped stabilize the economy and prevent further job losses. One interesting tidbit: during World War II, the government issued war bonds to finance military operations. Citizens bought these bonds to support the war effort, showing how public and private sectors can work together in times of need. Chapter 3: Justice for All, the Legal Lifeline. The justice system is the backbone of any functioning society. It ensures that laws are upheld and that justice is served. But what does the government do to maintain this crucial system? First off, there's law enforcement. Police officers work tirelessly to keep our streets safe. Did you know there are over 17,000 law enforcement agencies in the US? That's a lot of officers working around the clock to protect us. Courts play a pivotal role in the justice system. Judges, prosecutors, and defense attorneys work together to ensure fair trials. In 2020, the US saw over 80 million cases filed in state trial courts. That's a staggering number, showing just how busy our courts are. The government also oversees correctional institutions. Prisons and jails are essential for maintaining order and rehabilitating offenders. As of 2021, the US had about 2.1 million people incarcerated, highlighting the importance of effective prison management. But it's not just about punishment. Rehabilitation programs aim to help offenders reintegrate into society. For example, vocational training in prisons prepares inmates for jobs upon release. This reduces recidivism, helping former inmates lead productive lives. Public defenders are another critical component. They provide legal representation to those who can't afford it. In the landmark case Gideon versus Wainwright, the Supreme Court ruled that everyone has the right to an attorney, ensuring justice is accessible to all. Juvenile justice is also a key focus. The government runs special programs for young offenders, aiming to steer them away from a life of crime. These programs emphasize education and rehabilitation over punishment. An interesting fact: the Innocence Project has helped exonerate over 375 wrongfully convicted individuals through DNA testing. This highlights the importance of ongoing legal reform and the pursuit of justice. The justice system also includes specialized courts. Drug courts, for instance, focus on rehabilitation rather than incarceration for drug offenders. These courts have been shown to reduce repeat offenses and save money. Chapter 4: Guardians of Wellness, the Health Haven. Public health is a top priority for any government. Ensuring the well-being of its citizens involves a range of strategies and programs. Let's explore how the government manages this critical function. Healthcare policy is at the heart of public health. Governments create policies to ensure access to healthcare services. For example, the Affordable Care Act, passed in 2010, aimed to make healthcare accessible to millions of Americans. It's a significant step towards universal health coverage. Public health agencies like the CDC play a crucial role. They monitor and respond to health threats. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the CDC provided guidelines to help control the spread of the virus. Their efforts were vital in managing the crisis. Vaccination programs are another key strategy. Vaccines have eradicated diseases like smallpox and significantly reduced others like polio. In 2021, over 200 million Americans were vaccinated against COVID-19, demonstrating the importance of these programs. Disease prevention is not just about vaccines. It also involves promoting healthy lifestyles. Government campaigns encourage healthy eating, exercise, and regular medical checkups. These initiatives help prevent chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease. Health education is essential. Governments provide information to help people make informed decisions about their health. Websites like health.gov offer resources on a wide range of health topics, making information accessible to everyone. Healthcare funding is another critical area. Governments allocate funds to support hospitals, clinics, and healthcare providers. In 2020, the US spent about $4 trillion on healthcare. This funding ensures that healthcare services are available when needed. Mental health is also a priority. Programs aim to provide support and treatment for mental health issues. The National Institute of Mental Health funds research and promotes awareness, helping to reduce stigma and improve mental health care. Emergency preparedness is vital for handling health crises. Governments develop plans to respond to natural disasters, pandemics, and other emergencies. This preparedness ensures that resources and services are available when they're needed most. An interesting fact: the World Health Organization, an international body, works with governments worldwide to improve global health. Their efforts in eradicating diseases like malaria have saved millions of lives. Chapter 5: Infrastructure Insights, Building the Backbone. Infrastructure is the backbone of any country. It keeps everything running smoothly, from transportation to communication. So, what does the government do to build and maintain this essential framework? First, let's talk about roads and highways. The Federal Highway Administration oversees the construction and maintenance of over 160,000 miles of highways in the U.S. This vast network ensures that goods and people can move efficiently across the country. Bridges are another crucial part of the infrastructure. Did you know there are over 617,000 bridges in the U.S.? The government spends billions annually to inspect and repair these structures, ensuring they remain safe and functional. Public transportation is also vital. The government invests in buses, subways, and trains to reduce traffic congestion and pollution. For example, the New York City subway, one of the largest in the world, serves over 5 million riders daily. This system relies heavily on government funding and support. Airports and air travel are essential for both domestic and international connectivity. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, regulates and oversees all aspects of civil aviation. In 2020, U.S. airports handled over 927 million passengers, highlighting the importance of a robust aviation infrastructure. Water infrastructure is often overlooked but critical. The government ensures clean water supply through agencies like the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. The Clean Water State Revolving Fund has provided over $145 billion to improve water quality across the nation. Energy infrastructure is another key area. The government invests in power plants, electrical grids, and renewable energy sources. In 2020, renewable energy accounted for about 21% of electricity generation in the U.S., showing progress towards a sustainable future. Communication networks are the lifelines of the digital age. The Federal Communications Commission, FCC, works to expand broadband access, ensuring even rural areas stay connected. In 2021, the government allocated $65 billion for broadband expansion under the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. Public buildings, such as schools, hospitals, and government offices, also fall under infrastructure. The General Services Administration, GSA, manages federal buildings, ensuring they are safe and functional. These buildings play a crucial role in providing services to the public. Chapter 6, Educating the Future, the Knowledge Network. Education is a cornerstone of any society. It shapes future generations and drives progress. Let's delve into how the government supports and enhances the education system. First, there's funding. Public schools in the U.S. receive funding from federal, state, and local governments. In 2020, the federal government allocated $64 billion for K-12 education. This funding helps ensure that schools have the resources they need to provide quality education. Curriculum standards are another focus. The government sets educational standards to ensure consistency across schools. The Common Core State Standards, for instance, provide clear guidelines for what students should know at each grade level in math and English. Teacher support is crucial for a successful education system. The government offers various programs to train and support teachers. The Teach Grant program provides financial assistance to students who plan to become teachers in high-need fields. Higher education is also a priority. The government offers grants, loans, and work-study programs to help students afford college. In 2020, the federal government provided $130 billion in financial aid to college students. This support makes higher education accessible to more people. Vocational training programs prepare students for the workforce. These programs focus on practical skills in fields like healthcare, technology, and the trades. The Perkins Act supports career and technical education, helping students gain valuable skills. Special education services ensure that all students have access to education. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, mandates that students with disabilities receive free and appropriate public education. This law ensures that no child is left behind. An interesting fact, the Head Start program, established in 1965, has provided early childhood education to over 37 million low-income children. This program helps prepare young children for school, giving them a strong start in life.